Have you ever denied yourself something that you really, really, really wanted, even though you could afford it? If so, then that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm Dr. Morgana McCabe Allan, co-founder of the Manifesting Institute, and my research is on how we co-create with everything around about us, including our own beliefs and our inner system of reality. It's not just what's out there that's acting back upon us, it's also what is inside. Now, when I was 11, I want to say, it was the graduation from primary school to high school. I know that school systems don't exactly translate, but we have two schools here in Scotland. And so it was that transition from the first school into the second one. And I wanted a really special dress for this party. I had seen it, I was totally in love with it. I used to go to the shops with my friends, and that was something we were allowed to do back in those days when kids could just like freely go about with no mobile phones. And so I was out, checking out this dress all the time, really loved it. And when I finally took my mum to see the dress, she said I couldn't have it. She said it was too expensive. She wasn't spending that on a dress for a little girl to wear to one party. I wouldn't get the opportunity to wear it again. And no, she would get me a dress from a cheaper shop. Now, I had already been growing up inside a family that didn't have much money. It wasn't a crazy expensive dress. It's not like it was, hundreds of pounds or dollars or something like that. It was just a little more than we maybe normally would have spent. And I felt really, really hurt because it was a very special event in my life. And it literally makes me want to cry just thinking about it. This dress that I just loved, it was the perfect dress for me, that I was just immediately denied. No discussion. There was no sort of conversation around about it or anything. It just wasn't happening. And so my mum bought me another dress from another shop, which actually was a nice dress. It was much cheaper. And I did wear it hundreds of times. So we definitely got our money's worth out of the dress that we bought. Now, this is not a story about how my mum denied me a dress. It's a story about how I repeated the pattern throughout my life. So we're going to roll forward now to my first wedding. And my parents were paying for the wedding. At this point, I had savings in my life as well. I could have had a beautiful wedding dress. I looked at beautiful wedding dresses, and then I bought one with a broken zip. So there was a dress that was normally £700. It had a broken zip. They didn't think they could sell it. And I bought it for £79. And I was so pleased with myself that I had got this wedding dress. It wasn't exactly the one that I wanted. It's not like it was the perfect dress or anything, but it was a real wedding dress in inverted commas, and it was only £79. So it felt like a complete bargain. And then I put on some weight and I had to get it adjusted and things, and that was okay. It wasn't my dream wedding dress by any stretch of the imagination. It was now not my dream dress that I bought because it was broken, that had been adjusted because I gained weight. So it was very far from my dream wedding dress. Roll forward a few more years. By this point, I've already left husband number one and living in Spain. And I now actually have good money available to me and a beautiful dress in a shop in Spain that was maybe €450. So again, it was much more than I'd ever spent. At this point, I'd never spent more than I had actually spent on that first wedding dress. That was still the most I'd ever spent on a dress. And I absolutely was crazy about this dress. It was beautiful. It was like something out of a fairy tale. It was magical. It was like a bright green ball gown with, fairy tale flower bodice and all kinds of things. And my mum came over to visit me in Spain, and I showed her, and she said I should buy it. So I just want to underscore, this is not something that my mum was still doing to me. This was something that I had internalized. At age 11, I had internalized that I wasn't worthy of beautiful things. So even although I had the money, I still thought a dress is not an investment. A dress that can't do anything. A dress it's not like a magical superpower or a university degree or something like that. It's just a dress. So I didn't buy it. And I still think about it now. And we were talking about a dress that I saw in a shop in 2006. And again, I had gone, week after week, I would go past that shop window and see that dress there and never buy it. Roll forward now to my second wedding. And by now we're 2012. So we have fully come now 20 years from the original dress. 20 years. and I'm pregnant. And so what did I tell myself? It's not worth getting a nice dress. I'm pregnant. I probably would need to get it adjusted anyway. And so I had my aunt make me a maternity dress. And that maternity dress, guess what? That wound up working out about £79 for the fabric and all the things that we had to get for her to make it. And I repeated the pattern again. I had another wedding where I didn't have a beautiful, magical wedding dress that I would absolutely love to have. And I had a dress that I did love. And I did wear it again. It was very practical. I wore it the whole pregnancy and the next baby as well. But it was not that sort of special, magical dream dress feeling at all. And I'm sharing this with you because it's an issue of worthiness. The reality is that I didn't feel like I was worthy of having a special, magical, beautiful thing. And I didn't even realize that that's what it was until long after my second wedding. That when I was young, I had internalized, oh, I'm not worth spending that money on. Oh, I'm not worth something that special. I just get an ordinary dress that I can wear every day. So I just got an ordinary dress that I could wear every day each time there was an occasion. Apart from that first wedding where I did get a real wedding dress, but as soon as my wedding was finished, here's what I did. I donated it to a charity that they keep all the things that you need to have a white wedding. It's in Africa. People go and they hire all of it. And so they have a wedding there every day, and people hire the wedding dress, the suit, the table centers and things. They hire all of them from that place, from the charity, and the charity helps fund an orphanage. I donated my dress there so that my wedding dress could be worn as a wedding dress every day in Africa. So it still was a dress that was getting worn every day, just not by me. And it brought up lots of things for me. I had lots of questions to ask myself, and now I want you to do the same. Ask yourself, is there something that you have denied yourself in your life? It might not be a dress. Maybe you feel like you should always just buy a secondhand car, or maybe you think that you just always buy a secondhand dining table because the kids draw at it, and it, why have a nice new one anyway? Or maybe you always buy dishes from the charity shop because ceramics are good even if they're secondhand. Or maybe there's something that you would just love to have a really nice new one of. Maybe something that you looked at for a long time, but you just think it's a ridiculous expense, like it's not worth it, or it's a silly thing to spend your money on, or any of that stuff. I really want to encourage you to actually look at what might be underneath that. There's every possibility that underneath that are a set of beliefs, because in actual fact, what we call reality is all underpinned by sets of beliefs. And so to you might think it is a reality that nice dresses or nice crockery or whatever that is just, that it's a waste of money, or, some belief like that. But is that truth? Is that a reality? What if having an incredible dress actually shifted your energy and made you feel incredible? What if having that dress was the exact thing that attracted somebody to you? And so this is the last part of this story. I did buy an incredible, beautiful skirt, actually, when I lived in Spain. It was one of the very few beautiful designer things that I had ever bought. It wasn't that dress, it was another thing. And I saved this story for last because it's so important, because it really illustrates this. One time that I didn't deny myself the dress. And it was so beautiful, I didn't want to crush it into my suitcase. And so I wore it to fly home to Scotland to visit my family. And then I wore it to fly back again out to Spain. And on the flight back out to Spain, I was going through a rather rough time, actually. I had literally just filed for divorce over those holidays, and I was feeling a little bit sorry for myself. But I had my very, very beautiful dress on. And this incredibly handsome young guy was sitting alongside me. I say young because he was young then, but I was young then too. So just guy, this incredibly handsome guy was sitting beside me. And we got talking, and before we knew it, we had this incredible fairy tale day where we spent the entire day. We had long delays with our flights and things. We had 11 hours together at the airport. We spent that whole day together. We dated for many months. We remained good friends. It's probably the most romantic thing that's ever happened in my entire life. sorry, husband. He's the most wonderful partner in the entire universe, but he's not romantic. But it's a very, very romantic fairy tale moment for me that became a fairy tale romance that completely and totally turned around my understanding of what was possible in terms of relationships, because I'd gone from that really poor first marriage that I'd just signed the papers for to meeting this Prince Charming of a guy, super handsome Prince Charming of a guy, while wearing my fairy tale dress. Now, if I wasn't wearing the fairy tale dress, would I have had the confidence to even say hello to him? The truth is, probably not. So here's what I want to say to you. You don't know the magic of the dress or of the dishes or of the table or of the car or whatever the thing is that your heart desires until you actually build a relationship with it. But until then, every time that you tell yourself, no, that's a waste of money or any of these other things, maybe you're telling yourself that you're not worthy of it or you're not special enough. And so I'm not saying rush out and spend all your money on some dishes or something. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I really am saying is look at what's underneath your beliefs about the things that you do and don't allow yourself to buy for yourself, because the chances are they're beliefs that are not serving you, and they're ones that I would really love to help you turn around and to move from denying yourself something into a place where you recognize your worthiness so much that you can then choose from a place of total worthiness whether or not it's actually something that you truly desire, and then go from there. I'd love to see you over in the Manifesting Institute, where we work on your beliefs, your practices, your emotions, your relationship with your body, and so much more. Take care. Bye.